What y'all have for breakfast today? A Chihuahua or Calico? Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with the Top of the Blogs Extra. I said I wasn't going to do it, mostly because I feel like YouTube is probably going to flag this. However, I have to go on and give you guys my comments on the presidential debate. The first and maybe the only presidential debate between YSAP and Kamala Harris. Did you guys watch last night? Child, it was a good time. It went exactly how I expected it to go. Yes, I was front and center. I really hope you guys were too, especially for those of you guys who felt that you were on the fence. Maybe you didn't know who you were voting for, even though that is still very confusing to me. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Ashley. But yeah, the debates was last night. It was on ABC. It came on at 9 o'clock. It lasted for basically 2 hours. As soon as the candidates both came onto the stage, it started. Okay, so I can appreciate we ain't got a whole bunch of formalities. It's not a whole bunch of anything other than let's get down to business. Now, we had David, what is his last name? The one who is on World News Tonight on ABC. Him and the girl, child, I didn't get neither one of their names, and I'm not able to look it up, and I don't have my notes. This is all off the top of the dome, y'all, because yeah, it's a whole bunch of reasons why, but I don't have notes with me in front of me right now. So yeah, we just going by memory, you guys. And that's fine, because I just really wanted to open up the space for everybody else to comment on how the debate went. But I still will give you my opinion. And I'll put on the screen who was the two moderators for the show. It was David, and it was the other girl, light-skinned black girl, who also sometimes will host David's show when he's not available. But what we are here to talk about is indeed the debate. From the very moment that Kamala Harris and YSAP walked out on stage, you could tell that YSAP had no plans of shaking her hand. He went straight to his podium. She crossed the stage to go up to him and offered her hand. Okay, and did you guys hear her say with a very strong voice? She said, "Kamala Harris, okay, nice to meet you." Because apparently these two have never actually met each other. Okay, over all of the years that we've had to deal with YSAP, they have never met each other. Okay, so no time like the present. I love the fact that she did that, because he obviously had no plans of doing that, like I said. And to me, it felt like it was kind of establishing like this whole, I'm not scared of you, I'm not intimidated by you. Okay, and I already knew that Kamala needed to, because YSAP has made this whole big deal about her being dumb as a bag of rocks, and you know, she's stupid, and the things that he said has been so insulting. I guess he would have wanted her to kind of cower down and maybe just go to her podium, but no, baby, we that ain't how we gonna do it here, because ain't nobody scared of you, first of all. Okay, we all know you don't become a lawyer, a prosecutor, a DA, an attorney general, a senator because you're stupid. We know this woman has gone to school. She has the degrees and the certifications to prove it. And we can't say so much for YSAP. I mean, if we was really going to go down his family history, we already know people in his own family says he was handed handouts his whole fucking life. Okay, his father gave him, the grandfather gave them all of this money, and he still ended up fucking it off, having to pay bankruptcy, you know, having to declare bankruptcy and all that. Anyway, that's not what we here for. The debate, you guys, let me get back on track. So from then on, I was like, okay, girl, let's do this. Okay. And I absolutely was 100% there for Kamala Harris. I feel like she successfully was able to introduce herself. You know, a lot of the talk has been that people don't know Kamala, even though she has been the vice president for, you know, almost 4 years now. People feel like she's been in the shadows and really haven't really known what her position is, and feel like she was adopting a lot of Biden's policy, which, I mean, that could be very much true. She is his vice president. They have a lot of the same ideals and the same way about things. However, I think that people wanted to see what she stood on when she, when it came to certain policies. So I feel that Kamala Harris did a great job of making sure that she explained exactly what she planned to do when it came to inflation, when it came to foreign policy, when it came to abortion, when it came to economically getting this country back on its feet from us having to deal with inflation and high prices. Yes, she absolutely did evade some questions, because that is also the life of a politician. You have to be able to think about a question and how that can get you in a trick bag. You have to be thinking a few steps ahead to know that if I answer this, then they're going to ask me this, and then it's going to be just a big bag of worms. And if it's something that is not, if there's something that you probably could have done things a little differently, namely that situation in Afghanistan, which was a disaster. We all watched when everybody was trying to get out of Afghanistan, and them people hanging on the side of the plane that was trying to take off and fall into their death and everything. It was definitely not a shining moment. Okay, so I was listening to the radio this morning, and I heard a lot of pundits talking about the fact that she didn't mention or didn't really talk about that, other than her saying that she did support Biden, that there were many presidents out there who wanted to withdraw from Afghanistan, but people couldn't figure out how to do it. And Biden was able to get it done. Yes, it was ugly. Yes, it was ugly. Yes, there were a lot of people who unfortunately lost their lives. But I mean, so yeah, she did evade that question for sure. Okay. But Affordable Health Care Act and all that, like, there were things that I feel that she clearly said how she felt about things. Okay. And what she planned to do. YSAP, not so much. It's interesting to me that, but not surprising again, but as a woman, and then of course as a Black woman, you have to really, really sell yourself. Really have to sell yourself. And YSAP can get up there and frown at the camera, and people still believe in him. His base is just, the fact that his base is so supportive, I mean, is amazing to me. Even this morning on the radio, I was just like, what I loved about the debate was the fact that she was able to bait him quite a bit, and he fell into the trap every time, okay? Especially when they were talking about inflation and how people couldn't afford to pay for their food, couldn't buy things. That was why we had the whole debacle about the Haitians in Springfield or wherever he was talking about eating dogs and cats, okay? Now, we had heard about this last week. They had debunked it, said that there had been no reports of anybody saying that they had been having to eat their animals because of, they haven't been able to afford food. Yes, there are people that are struggling, I'm sure, but to the point where they have to eat dog and cat, I don't believe that is true. Nobody has reported that has happened. However, YSAP to get up there and still say that, it's reports of them. They're eating their dogs and their cats. Like, I was just like, I was actually very happy that he did that, because it shows that when YSAP gets pissed and when he feels like he's on the ropes, and it felt like he was on the ropes quite a few times last night, that he gets upset and he just really is liable to say anything. Okay. Between that comment and the comment about the trans illegal aliens having surgery to change, I was just like, what exactly is he talking about? Why is he even talking about it? But, I laughed quite a bit, and then it's always interesting to me that YSAP can get up there and talk about people illegally doing things and criminals coming into the country and everything. And you are the biggest fucking criminal that represents this country, that's trying to represent this country, as you have been tried and convicted of 34 felonies. I don't even know how he's able to say certain things with a straight face, but he's able to do it, you guys, and he totally believes it. And his base, again, they totally believe it as well. Didn't you guys love when Kamala Harris said that he's been fired by 81 million people? Child, me and Mr. fell out laughing. I was like, yeah, that was a good one there. You were fired by 81 million people and he still has not accepted that. I think that he was not clear on a lot of things. You know, what is his policy still, besides the fact that he wants to make sure that these illegal aliens from Mexico don't come into the country because they're terrorists and they're drug dealers and they're killing our people and they're taking the black and brown jobs that he doubled down on again. He was not clear about what his plan is for the Affordable Health Care Act. You know, when they said, do you have a plan? He said, yeah, I have a concepts of a plan. How many years have he been? He was y'all stupid ass president for 4 years. There's been 4 more years since Biden was president, and Obamacare was 8 years ahead of that. You know, it was just like, when exactly was you gonna come up with this plan? You still talking about a concept of plan because he don't have one. He don't have one. He was not clear on where he stood with the January 6th thing. He kept on saying that had nothing to do with him, and it was just like, absolutely not. You are the one that incited that riot, and you know it. He'll never accept that. He won't accept that he lost the presidential election when Biden did win. He still won't say that. When they asked him about the peaceful exchange of power, or, you know, if he does not win in come November, you know, how is he going to handle it? And he evaded that question. Like, the things that the American people want to hear about, I don't think that YSAP was successful in relaying that. And I feel like he allowed himself to be rattled so many times that it made him, he definitely, what I will say is the people that prepared him for this debate, even though he swears that he did not prepare because he's been working up his whole life to become, you know, at this moment, they cannot feel as comfortable as they did after the debate like they did when he debated Biden. We knew that many people felt that Biden had lost that debate, all right? And that was when the transfer of, like, the energy went, like, you know, people was really still kind of believing that Biden was going to be the one, and then that debate kind of shit all fell apart. And that was when the Republicans was feeling like they had it in the bag, okay? But then, of course, after Biden, the pressure from the Democrats to step down, Biden ended up doing that, and then Kamala getting in there, that pissed YSAP off because he knew that transferred the energy back to the Democratic Party, all right? And it was like, kind of like, oh my goodness, it's this woman, this black woman, you know, that he has to now even deal with. Like, there is no other situation in life when he would feel like he needs to go toe to toe with a black woman because he's already above it. That's kind of how he feels about it. So now he's pissed that he's not dealing with Biden any longer. And now he has to deal with Kamala. And that also was obvious in the debate yesterday because he kept talking about Biden. You know, what time does he get up in the morning? You know, what is he doing? He's out relaxing on the beach somewhere. Biden is not running. It doesn't matter what the fuck Biden is doing today. You are here on the stage with Kamala Harris, which means that is the person that you should be talking about. Okay? She was just like, I am the person that's running, not Joe Biden. So you need to get off of that. And that still pisses him off, the fact that he even has to do this. Okay? After that damn debate was over, they was asking if there would be a second debate. If I was YSAP's people, I would absolutely not do another debate. Mostly because I wouldn't have even done this debate. I've told you guys that before, because YSAP's base is unshakable. They are not going to change their mind one way or the other. The only way that this was going to help YSAP with the people that were not necessarily sure what they were going to do was for him to get up there on that stage and give a stellar performance to show YSAP in a more mature, more controlled, you know, more about this country, and not necessarily on the defensive and always feeling like, you know, it's always everybody's against him and always like all this and fear mongering. Like I said, you know, this was going to be the moment for him to show that, and he's not able to do it. He is not able to do it. And because he can't do that, the people that were unsure, this can't make them sway this debate could not have swayed them, to me, to go over onto YSAP's side. Now, you might still not be sure about Kamala, but it could not have changed your mind in the positive direction of voting for YSAP. So why do it again? Okay, this man is just not capable. Debating is not his strong suit. And instead of focusing on the things that he even the optics of him, it is a fact that when YSAP was in office, we weren't in any wars. There weren't any attacks going on. We weren't involved in anything really while he was in those 4 years because, you know, he has relationships with these dictators and he feels like he's the reason why they did not strike out and feel that they can attack. That's why he always says, like, you know, that the United States is at its weakest now because all these wars and shit started up after he came out of office. Okay, those are the strong points that he could have really been president. He couldn't even do that because he cannot keep on task. Like, he cannot keep it together. And instead, the optics still sound bad. I know Putin. I know him very well. I know Ogden, whatever the man's name is. Like, he is friends with these dictators, which is some of the reason why a lot of people are afraid about YSAP getting back in power, is because he also wants to be what these people are. You know, he tried to distance himself from Project 2025. He knows nothing about it. You know, he's not going to do what they say in those papers or whatever. And we all know it's bullshit. We've seen him in pictures with the guy who actually is responsible for writing, or, you know, one of the big writers of Project 2025, because it's a number of people that wrote it. As far as the abortion situation and them taking it out of the federal and giving it back to the states and everything, like, that is what he continues to stand on. But I believe very much so that they want abortion to be a national ban. Okay, they want a national abortion ban. And to me, any woman that votes for YSAP, any woman of childbearing age especially, but any woman, period, you are going against your own fucking, you know, best interest. When you have a man or you have a group of men that are able to tell you, and he's so proud about it, that he's able to tell you what you can do with your body. Like, that alone, I told you guys yesterday in my other top of the blogs, that alone makes me know that I would never vote for him. Because even though I ain't having another fucking child nowhere, I have a daughter, I have a son who's going to get a woman pregnant one day, I have family members that, you know, are still at that deciding whether or not they're going to have kids, and they should be the only ones that make that decision for themselves. Nobody in government should be telling us whether or not we are going to be, you know, it sounds horrible, but stuck with a child that we didn't want. One from incest and rape, you know. They say that there are exceptions, but are there really? Are you going to be throwing doctors in jail for a person that life is on the line? Like, it's just too many gray areas. And so, no, I don't trust YSAP to do what he says he's going to do on certain issues. And then, of course, I do trust that he's going to do exactly what he said he would do on other issues, namely him saying that he's going to go after people if he gets into office, you know, that he is going to go after people and put them in jail. And there's a lot of people that he is upset with. Okay, you can go down the list. Is this the type of person that you would want? It's just like, yeah, it's just amazing to me. This new wave of what people think politics should be is the reason why folks want to support Donald Trump, who is not a politician. He is a very rich man who came up through handouts, who's always had like the silver spoon in his mouth, and now has gotten to this point where he has all this power and he abuses it the best way that he can. Okay. After the debate was over, or maybe around when the debate was starting or something, we found out that Taylor Swift did end up endorsing. And, you know, YSAP said that she's very liberal and she usually supports Democrats anyway. So he doesn't really care much about that. I was like, baby, between the Beehive and Taylor Swifties, you know, Kamala has the endorsement of a very strong base of people. Okay, and then YSAP, he has Amber Rose, and he has Woe Vicky, and he has Akbar V. And all they followers. Shout out, I saw that comment on Shade Room this morning. I thought it was funny. But yeah, to me, Kamala has the people's, she has the people's endorsement. YSAP has his base, like I said, and apparently a lot of the interest of people who will benefit from him being back in office, which would be the wealthy, the rich, the filthy rich, him giving tax breaks and things onto them. Yeah, you guys, it was a very good debate. I smiled a lot of the times. I love the fact that Kamala Harris kept looking at him like, nigga, is you crazy? Like, that was her expression the whole time. Like, what? She was like, well, let me see, what is he saying now? Like, huh? Even the fact that they had the mics turned off, it was fine, because they had them on a split screen. They had her on one side, him on the other side, and they kept showing her expressions. Okay? And it was just kind of one of those, you don't know what you're talking about again. Let me correct it for you. I mean, it wasn't a perfect debate on Kamala's side, but it was if I was on Kamala's team, I would be very happy with what she did. It was obvious that it was, because she said that she wanted to do another debate. Okay? She's open to it. YSAP said he's still thinking about it. And YSAP was on Fox News explaining how he felt like Kamala Harris had already gotten the questions ahead of time. He was like, she was very, very prepared. She seemed to know. Yeah, she's prepared because she's smart. She's prepared because she prepared for this. You walking around at these rallies and saying that you don't even have to prepare, and then you get up there and you say shit like they given illegal aliens transgender operations and they eating dogs and cats in Springfield. I said, what? Not the damn dogs and cats, child. I knew that was gonna be it. And of course, Mr. sent me a meme like shortly after there was a black guy. He was had his dog on the table. And he had his damn knife and fork like, oh shit. I totally enjoyed the debate. I think that it was a great performance for Kamala, and I think that definitely did help her. I don't believe that it helped YSAP in any way. Okay, and even if you watched some of the people afterwards that were talking about what they felt, that damn Christy, what's his name? Doug? Not Doug Christie, child. That's Jackie Christie's husband. What's the man named? The heavyset? He was so damn disgusted afterwards. I was cracking up, so yeah, it was great. It was absolutely a good time. Again, if I was YSAP, don't you do another debate. I don't see how that would help you in any way. You can act like you thinking about it and everything, but I just don't see how that would happen. We are now looking forward to the vice presidential candidates debate that's coming up between Walz and Vance. And I can't wait to see that too. Only because Vance is so cocky. He just feels like he got it in the bag already. Okay. And I think that Walz is a very good speaker, and he knows how to appeal to the average person. And I think that he is going to definitely help on the Democratic side as well. Okay. Vance, I don't even see how the Republicans really like Vance. He's just an oily, slick kind of says, and he doubles down on a lot of stupid shit too. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. I think that we're going to get even more laughs out of that one. And if you weren't really sure from this debate, maybe the vice presidential debate will push you on over and get you to understand that there's only one person that you need to be voting for. While I'm here, let me just make sure that I tell you guys that you need to start making sure that your registration, your voter registration is intact, in place, where you're supposed to go to vote come November, because they are definitely trying to kick people out. They're doing at least here in Georgia, I do know for a fact that they are trying to do everything that they can to make it very difficult for people to get their votes in, kicking them off, saying that they're not in a certain district, moved away, blah, blah, blah. They are kicking them off the roster. So you need to make sure that you have where you're supposed to be really, when the early voting starts, you need to just make sure you do it then, so you can, if there comes any issues, it won't be the last day of actual election day when you are running around like a chicken with his head cut off trying to figure out where you're supposed to go, why you not registered, this, that, and the other. I think the last day to actually register for voting is October 7th. Don't quote me, but it's somewhere at the beginning of October. So we coming up on it. People need to make sure that they are registered to vote, so that they're ready, when the time comes. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it, you guys. Again, right off the top of my head. So a lot of the points that I wanted to make, I think that I've hit most of them, but I may have left some things out. So you guys are welcome to leave however you feel on either side down in the comments. Okay, we welcome all opinions here. Even though, yes, this is a Kamala Harris supported YouTube page. So, when people say, "Oh, Roxanne, you biased," and there, yes, I am. I am a Kamala Harris. I'm voting for Kamala Harris. So that's already established. So you ain't got to get up here telling me that I don't be fair about certain things. I don't like YSAP. So I'm never going to see it for them. And that's just what it is. Okay. All right, you guys, it was today is September 11th, 9/11 happened. Well, I go by Jada's age because it was the same year that Jada was born. So it's been 23 years since 9/11 happened. They just had this ceremony in front of my building because I work with a lot of fire and police, different divisions and departments. I work in the administration area. So they always have a big ceremony out front. And yeah, I just can't believe that it's been so long, you guys. And our country has been through a lot of changes since then. Some good changes and some bad changes. But we trying to get it back. Like Kamala said, we are not going back. Okay, let's turn the page. Let's move forward. Let's go that way. Let's not go that way. Let's try to make sure that those things don't happen anymore and we just move forward. So I was so happy. I was so proud to see her up there. I know the AKAs had to be proud of their sorority member, even when YSAP mentioned she was at a sorority party. I was just like, he just knows how to offend people. He just knows how to do it, you guys. But I was very proud to see that she's a Black woman up there and that she can clearly and concisely show that she is not afraid of this man or any other man that comes in front of her, that she can do the job. She has to show that she can do this job. To me, she showed that. Okay. Now, if you want to say that, YSAP is tough and everything, that's one thing. But definitely you can see that Kamala Harris is not a pushover. I could already look at her and tell a lot of her demeanor and ways reminds me of my sister-in-law, my oldest brother's wife. Just no nonsense, don't play. I know her type of personality. So it's just great to see that this woman has been on a constant trajectory of moving up. She's been climbing that ladder and she's already at this place of being the president of the United States. I'm so proud. I'm so happy. I love the fact that we are here. I love our space where we are. Yes, we still got to work on these states, where the polling is showing that her and YSAP are running close and neck and neck. We still have time. We have 4 or 5 weeks left. No, more than that. We have 6 or 7 weeks left. We still have time, you guys. So, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it. You guys will have to let me know what you thought about the debate. Give me your good, your bad, your ugly. And again, you can tell me, even if you are a Kamala Harris supporter, you can tell me where you felt like she could have done better. You can say where YSAP did great. You can put all that there because we all family here and everybody has an opinion and all. Even though your opinion might be wrong, it's okay. Okay, as long as you are respectful. You can say whatever you got to say. And that's it. I'm going to get on off of here, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.